What is up? What's good and what's cracking? Good people of YouTube land, it's your boy Gates McCoy. I got what I consider a jackpot in my mind. When I go out and I grab 5 games or more, or I come out of the retro gaming store with a stack of games, I consider that a jackpot because it's not every day I'm dropping crazy amounts of money, grabbing $20, $30 games, or grabbing stacks of games on a regular. So when I grab a stack of games, I consider that a jackpot video. So, without further ado, we're going to go from left to right. This is my next installment of Retro Gaming Store Buys and Finds. You guys seem to enjoy these videos. You guys seem to enjoy these videos more than my actual gameplay videos. And before I actually get into this, just so you guys know which retro gaming videos I do, or how I choose to pick what games I do, I only play the games that I buy. I do not do emulators, and I do not do games that I do not own. If I do not own a physical copy of the game, I do not do a video on it. That's how I set myself apart from all the other retro gaming YouTubers. I like to go out and actually find the actual copies of the games and play the games themselves. Alright, now that that's out the way and you know how I actually choose my selection of games and what I'm going to play, I'm going to start from left to right. Right here at the bottom, we got the Sega Genesis Eternal Champions. It was a fighting game that came out in the heyday of the 16-bit fighting era, really. And this was, I can't exactly remember who the hell made this game, but this was their take on the next-gen graphics, kind of like the Mortal Kombat when Mortal Kombat first came out. This was kind of like their twist on it. It wasn't that good. It was stiff. The moves and mechanics were lack thereof or fell flat on its face, but that doesn't mean that it's not worth buying and adding to the collection. That game was pretty cheap, probably about $3. Behind that, we got The Adventures of Mighty Max for the Super Nintendo. I did not play this game, but I bought this game because I remembered the cartoon, and I could only assume that it was a good platform, side-scrolling Super Nintendo game. So what I did do is I did look up a video just to kind of look at the gameplay on it, which is something that I don't do. I don't ever preview games, and the game looks pretty good. If you guys want to go check a video out on that, you can, because most people probably don't know what the Adventures of Mighty Max even is, let alone have ever played the video game. So I do look forward to playing that. That game was roughly about $10. The creme de la creme, all the way in the back, the Super Mario Sunshine for $25. What I did is I went in and bought the Legend of Zelda Windwakers. Didn't like the controls. I couldn't invert the camera, so for me that was a no-go. I felt like I was buying a game that I couldn't utilize or play, so I took it back and swapped it out for Super Mario Sunshine. Definitely a must-have on the Nintendo GameCube. If you're going to own any system, you got, especially a Nintendo system, you got to have their star player, Super Mario. Right below that, we got Mortal Kombat 3. Everybody knows what Mortal Kombat is. This just goes into the collection of Super Nintendo games that I don't have. I like fighting games. Mortal Kombat 3 is just a overall well-rounded fighting game. It doesn't really matter what installment it is. It always had good playability and new characters added to it. So it was just a game I was adding to the collection. That game was roughly probably like $3 to $5. Right below this, we have Mad Max on the regular Nintendo. I've been looking for this game for a long time. As you guys hear me say, some games are at the top of my list that I'm looking for. They're like in the top 5 or 10 games I'm still trying to track down for each gaming console. Mad Max is one of them for the Nintendo. I managed to find a copy for $6. Mad Max is an overhead, kind of old school Grand Theft Auto looking down on it type game. You even get a little car you can drive around in. Most people don't know anything about this game. But it's a pretty cool game. It's definitely worth buying, worth the price. Next up, we have Tetris 2 for the Super Nintendo. At my retro gaming store, if you buy 4 or 5 games, you get the 6th game free. So I told the guy at the retro gaming store, why don't you surprise me and pick a Super Nintendo game out for me? He picked Tetris 2. Pretty good pick. I didn't have it. Always been a fan of the Dr. Mario Tetris series. Overall fun game to play. That game was pretty cheap too, about $3 to $5 as well. Last but not least, for the regular Sega Genesis, we have the Beat Surfer Dude. I know nothing about this game. This was just rounding off me grabbing all these games really, and I wanted kind of 2 of each or 3 of each if I could, and that's kind of why I chose the Beat Surfer Dude for the Sega Genesis. I don't know anything about it, but I do look forward to getting into playing that. So overall, I got 7 games this time on my retro gaming store. Buys and finds 7 pretty good games. I mean, I maybe have 2 trash games in there, but overall, not too shabby if I don't say so myself. So until next time, later, people.